It's Anne Marie Chiz, everyone, with another episodes of AMC Connects. So great to be another week in, and I hope everybody enjoyed last week. We had a wonderful guest on. If you hadn't tuned in, please do, with Nancy. She's our CIO, and went over a little bit deeper conversation on CareSync and where we are, where we've been immediately past, and where we're headed into, and some of the priorities. So enjoy that. We've got an exciting episode for you today. Sneak peek.
Ooh.
We have a guest on that is the most viewed guest in all of AMC Connects, and we have her back. So make sure you stay in to stay inspired, engaged, and energized. We will talk about a hot off the press grant we received. Super grateful for that and why we got it, as well as we've got our employees of the month. So time's gonna go by fast. So make sure you stay with me. Everyone. As promised in the introduction, we just received a really wonderful announcement that has been much needed. We've had some teams working on a much needed upgrade in MRI, and we just received this note. Dear Cassie Winter, it gives me great pleasure to confirm that St. Agatha Foundation has approved a grant to Rome Memorial Hospital for $472,000 to support the purchase of our upgrade to our MRI machine. This grant may be used solely for the purpose and the mission from and of the St. Agatha Foundation.
Nice.
Very exciting. Isn't that awesome?
That's great.
Chuck? I know. I'm really excited about that. We've had, like I said, a multidisciplinary team working on several aspects of making sure that we have open, accessible, quality access to radiology services. And the lift here financially is certainly greater than this particular grant, but the grant closes the gap so that we can get started and make sure that over the next couple of months we can have this upgrade and just offer even more access. It helps enable a more timely MRI. So congratulations to radiology services, because with the leadership of Megan and Dr. Estivo and many others, we've been able to have a state-of-the-art community-based access point. So to continue on that path is such a gift, and we're grateful, so grateful for our foundations in the community that support it. Thank you to the St. Agatha Foundation. With that, we got to jump right in, everybody. It's very exciting.
We can't wait.
I know, we just can't wait. Before we were tuning in, just having a deep discussion with our guest that, yes, absolutely has been the most, I think it's by far, Chuck will keep me honest, viewed episode. And to be able to have her back is just, speaking of a gift, it's just amazing to be able to have her. So we're very excited. This was in relation to, in a previous episode that I had kind of talked about. Somebody who tuned in was one of those members that launched one of the greatest viewed points, that they were just really excited and informed, which is what we're trying to do here on AMC Connects, is keep people inspired, engaged, and informed. And you know, it's really important, Chuck, because I hope people are in great suspense right now.
I hope they are too.
I know, I'm doing the build-up, but I'm doing the build-up for a reason. In that, I was just talking before we were starting this conversation with a colleague that has a family member that's in healthcare. Not in our network, but in another network in upstate New York. And the colleague said to me that they were having this discussion around CEOs or people doing podcasts in healthcare. And I loved, honestly, this particular family member had said, I'm not watching a podcast in healthcare as an employee because I would need a break. I, as you all know, so appreciate honesty, and was really thrilled at the honest conversation that this colleague was sharing. The colleague does work for Rome Health, was sharing with me, which was just a reminder that to say the mission of this podcast is to inspire, engage, and energize. That's what we want. And if you are that person that's like, I've heard about this podcast and I'm like not doing that. I work in healthcare. I don't need any off time talking about healthcare. I would like to hear from you or hear from those people that you might watch the podcast, but you're having this great conversation with through the mailbag. What is it that might turn the corner and help and have people tune in to a healthcare podcast? Because it's been a time or two or 10 or 100 that I felt the exact same way that that particular person was saying. And when I think back about, well, what shifted things for me? When did I really want to engage a little deeper in healthcare conversations as an employee, even though so much of my life is spent in healthcare? And it's kind of those topics that help me feel or be inspired and engaged to understand what's going on so that I can be the best person I can be. So that's like my why, but Chuck and I want to hear about, through the mailbag, your why, or what it would take from these discussions that you might be having at the dinner table, in family circles, and water cooler, or anything that's about some interesting conversations. Without further ado, we're going to move right on and pivot to our most watched guest ever on AMC Connects is Dr. Krislyn Flint.
What? Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Goodness, it's so good to have you here.
Thank you.
I do like the applause. I'm going to give you two. Right? Are you as excited as we are? That
Yes.
You are.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The studio has changed.
I love it.
Since you've been. Why? Oh, good. Why? Do you like it?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's homier.
Yeah. It feels
that a
like we
word?
can get even
Sure.
closer.
I
In our
know.
conversation. In our conversation.
No,
of
sorry.
course.
I'll behave.
Yes.
No, I love it. It's perfect. I really think I should have brought a gift.
Oh, thank you.
I should have brought it next
I
time.
should bring gifts for you.
No.
Yes. Let's jump right in.
Okay.
Honestly, a lot has changed since
A
the
lot has
last
changed.
time
It's
we
been-
have been talking together
Yeah.
in studio. The practice has moved.
It has moved. We are up and transplanted into Oneida.
Yes.
We're at 357 Genesee Street, Suite 3.
Mhm.
Some people still find it difficult to find, but I get lost with the GPS anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
So we're working through that.
Everything's fine, and
Yes.
I don't want people to stress about that. But yeah, I love it. I love it. It is very satisfying, and I find that, and sort of the reason why I kind of asked if we could do this again was also to see if there's a way we could just do. This comes from the other day, pardon me.
Yes.
I was seeing a patient and I was talking to her, and it seems like a lot of the women have the same concerns. And it's almost like I feel like we could all just have a group discussion and they'd all say the same thing, and then I could, try to give what I can give. And not everyone is different. It's very an individualized treatment, and just I don't want to say everybody is the same.
Right, but there are some
But
themes.
there are some huge themes.
So I appreciate you so much bringing this up, because part of the conversations now, I think people watched the episode because you're just beyond fun. And so, and I think what happened was you made me fun, which I'm not like inherently fun or funny, but like you made it fun. And so people were like waiting for like the next fun trigger for Anne Marie. So there was definitely that. I don't want to take anything away from that. We might get back to that.
Okay.
But the other feedback I heard was that particularly women, but not just women, like people said, oh, that conversation about women understanding that symptoms or themes or issues that I'm dealing with, that it's like an actual thing. And it was okay to talk about because we have a prominent physician, surgeon, that's actually got a lot of emotional energy, passion, vision around these issues associated with women in perimenopause, menopause, and how can we start to have this conversation in a way that people feel more comfortable talking about it. People have shared that with me, Dr. Flint.
I love that.
They were so thankful that you and I, well, certainly you're doing what you're doing, that you're available, but even people that live far from our network had sought care in a different way solely because of our conversation.
I know. That's so great.
Yes.
It's so great.
If you were like in this imaginary circle of some generalized themes, what would they be?
More or less, if what I hear from patients is just that they are tired. They can't lose weight. They haven't changed anything. Their diet, they've actually been exercising and eating better, and they're still struggling.
Yeah, that plateau.
It is crazy. the, joint aches and, they could care less if they have sex again.
Yeah,
I don't want to say
yes,
that bad
yes,
word.
okay.
Yes.
This is what,
And, it's just hypoactive sexual desire disorder is what the diagnosis code would be.
I appreciate both words because that's a full description.
Big. Yes, but it encompasses everything.
Yes.
And just the vaginal dryness.
Yes. This is good that we can spell
I
too.
got kicked off of social media because I said I don't know what.
Oh, I got it. So
I think I said a bad word.
Okay.
So anyway, sorry, sidebar.
But there's real symptoms that women are bringing forward,
Yes.
and you're carrying that. I can see this in you. There's a bit of heaviness.
Yes, and I want them to be better.
Yes.
But I want them to know that it's not going to be. I have no magic wand, and I can't fix everything.
Yeah.
We have to. Our evolution through perimenopause to menopause takes a long time, and to regain some of our youth, more or less, takes time too. Yeah. So I think if everyone, keeps in mind that it's important to, take responsibility on certain things that they can change.
Yes.
And allow patience and time for treatments to bring them back, then I think they'll feel so much better, And
so we have to be patient, it sounds like. Yeah. I think what's probably really helpful is it certainly starts with what I'm hearing in this conversation, but in broader circles too. You and I have talked a little bit about this off camera, and that there has to be an acknowledgement. So it feels like you're making great headway into, there's like an acknowledgement that perhaps, or like the people I'm interacting with since our last discussion on the podcast, that, okay, this is real. And I can acknowledge this as a thing. Yeah. And then what you're encouraging is these symptoms are real, and they're not going to be maybe resolved overnight.
No.
Or with like a single pill.
Right.
Or
Correct.
a single therapy.
Correct.
Got it.
Yes. A couple things to that. We'll get to the pharmaceutical aspect of that momentarily. So the first thing would be is that most times I walk into a room, people will be like, it's almost like I feel I appreciate it. It's weird to me though, because it's like I'm I don't want to like a celebrity in a weird, and I'm just I don't. But that's a what do they call that?
Like a high
pedestal
bar.
To be.
That's right.
And it's
pressure.
Pressure. But it's so nice. And I had someone that I had taken care of her. Well, not just me. Had been involved in her care while she was having babies and multiple babies and all the great things. And then I hadn't seen her in my transition to the Rome office. She saw me in the United office, and she just said, I think I'm in perimenopause. And she's like, you have no idea how great it is you're doing this, how much we need this. I mean, a lot of people say that to me, but her thing was, she was like, I have so many friends. I've told them all about this. And it's like, well, let's go have dinner and let's talk about it. Nice. I just feel like I'm afraid that, the wait to get in to see me is going to deter people. And with that, again, I hope they have some patience too. So,
okay, I appreciate this. Okay, so two things with that. Building off this is something that thankfully people are willing to talk about now.
Oh God, yeah. Yes. They're like, we need this.
Yes. And then perhaps because you're groundbreaking, whether it's the area, it's the timing, I don't know that we know exactly yet, but you kind of represent it. And so there's this pedestal that starts to be created and you stand on. And so kind of what to do next. Thankfully, you're in practice. Gratefully, you're having good conversations. But perhaps how can we get a little bit more to the masses? So it sounds like two things. We need to be patient to get in to see you.
Yeah.
You're
and
here.
I think most people are. Yeah.
Great.
I just don't want them to get,
frustrated.
Frustrated or, they're just as important. I just, things.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. I take my time with them, and
Well, maybe if this is really good, maybe if there's patients who want to get in to see you, and they're going to be able to get there and get in, so you want us to be patient, or you want a patient population to be patient. What things could they be thinking about now in preparation for a visit with you?
That gave me another idea for a podcast on like supplements and things that I tell a lot of people that are a little on the fence as to whether or not they want to go on hormone replacement therapy or not.
Okay.
Things like that, I set up my own little apothecary with full script, and it's a supplement type online subscription program.
Great.
So I choose supplements depending on the patient, and I email them a plan, and then they can look at them. They can choose to purchase them. They can choose not to, things like that. But there are a lot of avenues that, and what they can do is just try to educate themselves, understand that our metabolism. I think one of the it's all connected. So one of the frustrating things, huge, is like fatigue, just again not feeling like a woman, and being able to have relations with their significant other, or not that they can't, or maybe it's painful, maybe they just could care less. Sure. But that also goes and is connected to how they feel about themselves, because they don't feel attractive anymore because they're working hard to lose weight and they can't. It's just very complicated. Yes. And we are complicated in a good way.
Yes.
I think.
But you have this site, you're saying, and you have this pathway. Did you give us the right reference? Or do you want to say it again?
Full script.
Full script.
Full script.
I know that Chuck will take that and make sure it's available for you if you're watching the podcast. If not, and you're listening, go back and reference Full Script.
Full script.
And it should be a place to really explore some of what could be done maybe anyway, but in advance of seeing you.
Correct.
Great.
They can look into it. I definitely, so to order anything, I have to actually send them an email so that they're part of the club.
Yes.
But still, it's good. It's great. So NAD, I mean, if you're talking about podcasts and all the other things, there are some really great ones on our mitochondria and the biochemistry in relation to NAD, pH, and et cetera, and how it's affected by less estrogen. So, supplementing with NAD, and there's creatine. Creatine is very important with hormonal balance and mood and other fun things. There's so many great things.
And I've heard muscle preservation.
Yeah.
Or muscle building. Creatine's helpful with that. Yes, which is so helpful, right?
Did you see that?
The muscle. Did we see the muscle? Look at that.
I was comparing with my son last night. He said, "Mom, your biceps are long."
Yeah. Yes, mine are too. I think that there's like, yes.
Instead of going over and bumping it, you're extended through.
Like if I were to work out,
I like lean.
Right,
right.
Right.
I think yours is better.
Well, no, it's long. It's like yours. Yes. So this is what we're talking about. This is fun. This is fun, right? She makes me much more fun and funny. Okay. Yeah, but the muscle building is so important. As I watch the generation ahead of us falling, breaking things,
frail.
Yeah. I don't want to be frail.
I don't
gotta
either.
Be honest.
No.
I might sacrifice some other things to prevent from being frail, falling with a fracture.
We all have to make some sacrifices.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So think
hormones.
about this. Hormones, pay attention to that. Make sure that there's some thoughts of changes.
Correct.
You got to make some changes. That's what you're telling us.
Absolutely.
And be patient with changes.
Yes.
Be patient with you.
Be patient
if you're seeking to get into your practice.
Be patient with me and be patient with themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
These are great messages.
And going back to the pharmaceutical thing.
Yep.
There is a shortage.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Now I have a lot of phone calls, which probably still have to be answered, and I apologize in advance. But that in regards to just most of the local pharmacies are like out of hormones in whatever vessel, patches, gel, spray, whatever.
Okay.
So I've actually resorted to using online Mark Cuban's Cost Plus Pharmacy. I don't, they, depending on the medication, but they can get it. It doesn't go through insurance, and it's so much less expensive.
Got it.
Yeah. So
So there's some avenues.
definitely avenues.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So if you put a call into you, be patient with that too.
Yeah.
So that they can have that
Yeah.
reduction. Now, some other pathways to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And I find this in the conversation. I'm sure you have too, because you obviously do this so much and wonderfully. That this idea of weight and weight gain during this time frame. And it's so important probably to make some dietary changes. But if the only measure of success is weight loss, we might be disappointed as women through this time frame. But don't you think, I'm sure, that it's so important to still make some dietary changes, even if your only factor is weight loss?
Yeah.
But there's other benefits to making some dietary changes.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So our food is not, let's say, healthy food is not readily accessible. Nothing is inexpensive these days.
Right.
So, that makes the effort even that much more challenging, I think. But to go back to like the biochemical part of it, our insulin receptors, I was explaining this yesterday to someone. Hold on.
Yes.
Please hold.
Yes. Water consumption is really important as well. Yeah, staying hydrated. People are saying they're getting dehydrated faster as they get older, right?
Yes.
So thanks for being a good example for that.
You're welcome. Thank you. So there is this metabolic, not syndrome, but sort of menopause. We could coin that. So insulin receptors, correct me if I'm wrong, square peg, round hole. So a lot of people don't understand what insulin is, and as a transport little mechanism to get. So I try to describe, okay, you eat something and it's sugar and it's circulating in your bloodstream, and in order for it to actually be used as energy, insulin has to transport it, grab it, bring it into the cell to be utilized. Yeah. So I tried yesterday to try to explain it. I was like, so as if the receptor is the insulin is the round hole and the sugar is the square peg, it's not going to work. It's not going to be able to fit and go into it's not the best analogy, but I'm
following you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm following you.
So it's really just, we were talking about ways to improve our insulin or kind of change our insulin resistance that occurs with perimenopause and whatnot. And, there's some things that are genetic that you're not going to be able to improve, but at least eliminating simple sugars, anything that melts in your mouth, essentially, that amylase, like the amylase in your saliva can actually just break down. That is not healthy.
Got it.
Not
healthy. Good for you. Okay.
Anything, white bread, chips, cookies, I know we talked about the gas station, goodies and all.
Yes. They're not good though for you, right?
No. I mean,
especially as we get older.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think there's just, that would be one huge one. Increasing your fiber. The fiber helps, with your glucose metabolism. And lots of protein.
Yes.
And it's about, I think we talked about it last time, about 2/3 of your body weight in grams.
Yes.
So if someone weighs 150, that goal is 100 grams of protein a day.
Yes.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. But I had somebody share with me, this person's actually been on the podcast too in the past. This person, in terms of protein, I think gave me some great advice.
Yes.
Which was, when you're struggling to get in maybe at least 100 grams of protein, eat your protein first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you can eat your protein first, probably a couple things will happen. You'll probably eat less,
right?
You'll
be full.
But maybe not like overly stretching yourself in that I've got to cut out everything. Right. But starting with protein with a goal of 100 grams might have both the good effects that you're talking about in terms of insulin levels, but it also might help the calorie intake
Absolutely.
be reprioritized, and
Right.
you're not as hungry.
Yeah.
You know, you're fuller.
Right.
But this all takes time and commitment.
It does.
Right? That's part of what
Yes.
you were saying in the
Yes.
other method.
Yeah.
Well, I can't believe how fast our time slips away. I know. I want to capture some things. Yes, but you are making this point of being able to come on more or having more dialogues. I think we should introduce that here. Like, let's be bold. We've never talked about this. In a perfect world, what would that mean? What do you think to help like the masses that you're talking about in terms of these conversations as people are waiting for you or waiting for more resources and building up and supporting the time that's needed? What are you thinking?
I was thinking just talking about pros and cons of hormones. I mean, everybody's talked about it, but yet everyone that comes to me, they still want to know. So I feel like not everyone has heard the news. Things
about
like that.
Hormones. Yeah, because
About
people
hormones.
are scared still.
They're still scared.
Yeah, will it cause breast cancer?
Yeah,
If you
no,
get on,
it
that's
does
still
not
a
cause
thing.
breast- I know.
People still think that.
I know.
Whatever that was in terms of many years ago.
Yes.
that-
Yes.
so I'm glad we're bringing this up
Yes.
again.
And preventive care.
Mm-hmm.
I think, just had a beautiful soul come visit me yesterday, and she's a very avid runner, and she's just maybe in that time frame of transitioning to her next era.
like that.
And so, but she's like, I want to do whatever it is that it's going to help me be able to continue doing what I'm doing and, not become frail, I guess, more or less.
That must have been helpful for you. That might be another piece of work that people can do as they're waiting for you. Like, what is your goal? Like, what's your true north? Yes, we've got lots of goals, certainly as people trying to survive and thrive and all of that. But that must have been helpful for you with this special soul.
Yes.
That I want to keep doing what I'm doing. So how do I do that? Because I think if we do that sometimes, we're willing to make some sacrifices if we were able to narrow some of our goals.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Yes, and that's forward thinking too.
Yes.
And it's not just like I'm stuck.
Right.
The hamster wheel-esque thing.
Yes.
It's all right, well, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, so I need to make the most of this.
Yeah.
And fractured hip is not going to be part of that
No.
plan. So, yeah.
Oh, I'm so thankful you're doing what you're doing.
Thanks.
But maybe we do some special editions, Chuck.
Oh, we can do that.
Probably need Dr. Flint special editions so that we can talk more about it, right? And some themes.
Okay.
So we will introduce that, and that will get people excited, I'm sure, because again, you're the most viewed podcast.
You're so funny.
People,
Thank
I know.
you.
I think I've been like, since we just saw each other, I've been like really curious throughout this whole conversation. You have many talents. Rumor has it you have another talent or special something that perhaps we get to disclose on AMC Connects.
Yes. So I am a superhero-esque person in a Hulk comic book.
Really? Tell us more about this, and can we show it on AMC Connects?
You sure shit. Yeah. Yeah, you can. All right. So my brother, he's an author, graphic novelist, and he worked for Marvel for some time, and he's on the New York Times bestsellers list, and he's just pretty cool.
Wow.
So anyway, he wrote one of the Hulk comic books, and I am a character in there. Maybe I'm not a superstar, but I have an amulet, and if I don't wear my amulet, you better look out.
I'm getting excited. Like, this is actually really exciting. So, what's really important about this?
Okay.
I have brothers too.
Yeah.
I don't know that they would design me in a superhero. So there's like a deeper connection here. I won't go too deep too
You're
quick.
gonna make me
but
cry.
like, wow.
I know.
Like, it's so meaningful to the community, to patients, to Rome Health. And you have this special place in your family's site as a superhero. So, but to be like really clear about this, you have to wear an amulet to not turn into the
Correct.
superhero. Is
Yes.
this what you're saying? Do we get to know what it is in terms of
I think I'm actually can be like one of the bad ones. Not yeah, I can't.
Okay.
It's
You have a lot of power.
yeah.
And so there needs to be
I need it
multiple
controlled
other
in my little. My daughter used to call them omelets.
omelets. Oh, I love her. And she's being very productive because that means a couple different things.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Yes. So yeah.
So we need to make sure that that's flashed up, Chuck. If we've
Yes.
got a picture.
She's gonna
of
send me
this.
that.
I'm going to send
I'm
it.
so okay. You got everybody. I hope you're enjoying this right now.
I was
that
going to
we've
bring
got-
it with me, and I
But we have a superhero in studio, Chuck. Right? He just.
forgot.
Yes. Everybody, stay inspired and engaged with this. Well, wow. As we close, I think you do need to be able to have an AMC Connects.
Thank you.
Yeah. Look. I'm just like I get so excited when she's around, Chuck.
Thank you.
It's very hard for me to even speak. So bear with me, everybody.
You're so
Get so
kind.
excited. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us again.
I'm
And we've got to keep getting the message out there and people tuning in.
Yes.
A lot of great facts on this episode, and wait with bated breath. We will be doing some special editions because we've got a waiting list. Be patient with Dr. Flint and getting into the practice. She has moved, and we continue to build. So thankful for people in the community, in the region, first and foremost, recognizing and prioritizing their health in this time frame, but being patient with Dr. Flint's practice and getting in. And we talked about some avenues you can take to get prepared for your appointment with Dr. Flint. With that, we will pivot into, as we summarize the episode, our Employee of the Month. And we had several nominations, and we did have our Employee of the Month for May 2026 with Cheryl Stanbro.
Woo!
Yes. At my annual exam with another local provider, 2 nurse practitioners identified a lump and told me I would need a diagnostic mammography and ultrasound. I was understandably worried and expected to hear from the office to schedule these tests. Unfortunately, no one called. When I followed up, I was told that per office policy, they would not schedule any testing until they received my prior mammography images from another provider, a process that could take up to 30 days. Despite my repeated calls and efforts to complete the required paperwork, there were delays, miscommunications, and no appointment in sight. I was told that once the records were received, scheduling could still take an additional 4 to 12 weeks. See, this is what I'm talking about, Chuck, at the top of the episode.
That's wow.
Yes. So proud of our medical imaging to make sure that we understand what's needed for open and quality access. As you can imagine, this was extremely stressful when facing the possibility of breast cancer, especially because my mother is a breast cancer survivor. Wow, a lot of stress with this patient. I reached out to the nurse practitioner at Rome Health here at Turning Stone for advice. She was reassuring, compassionate, and practical. She explained that weight loss can result in inconsistent fat loss, making breast tissue feel lumpy, and suggested that I contact Rome Health directly. I called Rome Health and was immediately connected with Cheryl, with Women's Imaging Patient Navigator, who was kind, understanding, and incredibly proactive. She guided me through every step, personally coordinated the transfer of my records, kept me updated by email, and most importantly, scheduled my appointment right away so I had a peace of mind. When I arrived for my mammography and ultrasound, I was seen right on time. Every staff member I encountered was warm, professional, and reassured me that I would not leave without answers. The radiologists and staff quickly determined that I am cancer-free, thank God. The relief I felt in that moment is hard to describe. One of the nurses shared in my joy with tears in her eyes, and I left feeling profoundly grateful. Wow, Cheryl, thank you for everything you navigated for this patient. The accolade went on and on and on with this testimonial, and I'm so grateful that the patient is doing well. And it's just kind of another example of the healthcare system can be challenging. Here at Rome Health, we really strive to empower all of our team, all of our staff members at every level of the organization to advocate for every patient. Dr. Flint and I were just talking at the beginning of the conversation, even if it's just one. I mean, we get to serve lots of people, and you're impacting many lives, and I know Cheryl is, but even the one, we always have to keep in mind, and that is just pretty powerful. I was sharing with Dr. Flint, a very important person in my life that's no longer here on earth, shared that with me, and it's a great reminder. Our next employee of the month, Amia Hall. Patient came into the emergency department in late labor. Patient and her husband and child were with her. The child was approximately 3 years old. Amia went with this nurse and another RN to the maternity unit to assist with this little boy while his parents were in labor. The little boy was visibly distressed and unfamiliar with the staff, all the above. Oh, can't imagine how stressful it is for a little one. The patient and family also spoke spoke Spanish with English as a second language. Amia was able to redirect the little boy, play games, and also calm the little boy while the father was able to be with the mother during labor. The father would not have been able to witness the birth of his second child without the help of Amia. Amia is deserving of recognition and all around kudos for stepping up and stepping in. Thank you in all caps. Amia was in this particular nomination. Congratulations to both of you. Thank you for all you do. We also have care recipients and some other highlights that Chuck will flash up for us for the viewing audience. Thank you, everyone. And thank you to Dr. Flint for really helping us create the best care out there here.